Hello everyone, how you doing today? Thought I would show you what I've been working on the last couple days again, and just to note, I do plan on getting that ship in the background out this Sunday probably. It's not quite done yet. I got to do a couple more things, but I showed you that already. This is that tank I showed on the last video. I did go through and give it like textured it and put some colors on it. I'm not really quite done with that yet. It's kind of clean and metally. I didn't do decals or try to accent it in any way yet. Um, but I think I'm going to run with this for Excalibur's challenge. I'm kind of running out of time anyway. But if I remove some turrets off from here, um, it will fit the target CPU and things I was trying to go for. Um, but then, of course, I would want to just leave it upgradable. I know that was suggested in the comments as well. So yeah, I do plan on doing that, allowing room for more uh, core blocks, potentially another generator. Allow you to put the turrets back on. Hopefully, have a location for a shield. Things like that. So I'll have to work it out. It doesn't have a lot of room inside. Um, and there's a couple features I would like it to have for useful utility in the field, such as a clone generator and maybe like a med bay. But that might be things you add in later too. I'll have to balance all the numbers with CPU, figure out what it's going to take fully equipped with generators and what it needs like stock without a lot of the extra stuff. And of course, the turrets that it's running make a big difference too. I don't know on that one, on what it's going to come with. I want it to come with like more rocket launchers, but that's going to be very dependent on how much CPU I have. So we'll see. But anyway, that's how that came out. Yeah. Something else, some wacky thing I made a while back. I don't think I'm continuing with it, but yeah, just to show you, it was gonna be some kind of weird, I don't know, maybe Creel tank or something. I'm not sure exactly what I was thinking at that particular moment in time. All I know is when I brought it into Reforged Eden, I was kind of like slapping on these different turrets here. Maybe these are allowed in vanilla as well now, but they look cool. I just don't like the fact that they can't shoot inward. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Just something I was messing around with. And that's not all the stuff I was messing around with. A couple more yet. This one here is I call it a first attempt at a like some kind of CV gunship. Designed to hold a bunch of artilleries and turrets all over the place and things like that. Um, However, I got like this far into it, and then I was like, oh man, this, I don't know why, but it looks more like a freighter than it does a gunship. So I was like, maybe I'll do something with it, but maybe I'll change its goal in life. Not sure yet. But that's just something. This one I've been working on now a little bit here, and this one is well, see if I could pull it off, but a gunship, a big time gunship. I actually kind of want to consider this one to be more of a artillery ship, if anything. It's right now running 5 artillery guns on it. Could have another one, um, and a bunch of launchers. Right, I do have slots right now for 10 launchers on here. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to figure it out. I'm trying to come up with something that looks kind of neat. I guess I'm inspired a little bit by like a battleship in a way, but then kind of making like a space version that's not like trying to mimic a like a World War II battleship or something like that, but something that's different. So I've got this kind of like divider here, and then this bulky area in the front. Just trying that out to see if I like it or not. The big reason for this was actually to try to get in reverse thrust because I don't really want to make this ship wide, um, and it presents a lot of problems to stick in, especially a couple a large like reverse thrusters. I don't want to be using the small thrusters on this build. So I figure one of these big ones would be enough for the reverse thrust, but the only real way I can do that is to like get it somewhere in the front of the ship and try to protect it a little bit. So that's kind of what I'm trying there. I even was debating whether or not I want, like, I'm gonna need some lift thrust and some turning strafing thrust as well. And I'm not sure if I should try to step that up and go to the big one, and if so, how am I going to fit that? I was already really struggling to fit this. I actually would prefer it to have it closer to the front of the ship for performance sake, but I got the big other thruster here, and they just can't meet the same, they're just right next to each other. Or, well, basically the side ones don't fit because of that, unless I made the ship wider. Which I'm trying to avoid doing that as well. However, I mean, when I'm messing with this thing, I'm trying to, I don't know, trying to come up with some kind of weird looking battleship, futuristic battleship for space. And I keep on thinking that, like my original design here, I was actually going to start having like the rear thrust here, and this would be the end of the ship in this general area. And now that I look at it, I'm thinking how cool would it be if it was actually longer and more battleship-like, and kind of like maybe even tapered off a little bit towards the back, and then get your rear thrust back there somewhere. Um, so I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with that yet. I kind of like the big ship idea or bigger ship idea. I was trying to keep it kind of compact though, and that would kind of blow the compactness, I guess. However, um, I do plan on this one having layers of combat steel inside, and probably not near as much interior space, nor would it really have a hangar. Um, I really kind of wanted to dedicate it to be like a battleship, gunship, artillery ship. I don't know. However, it comes out to be whatever it seems to have a lot of. And I was just kind of curious. Now, artillery, I believe, do have longer range than most of these guns here. So if you had a ship with, say, like this, with 5, 6 artillery guns on it, yeah, I know that ammo weighs a lot too, so it's going to need a lot of ammo storage. But how effective would that be against like CV ships? I mean, could you try to stay out of range and just pummel the things? And really not get in close. But if you do get in close, it's got a bunch of turrets, and you'd have a legit fight yet. But I'm just kind of wondering if you could like try to bombard a ship from afar and stay healthy in the process and do a lot of damage to it, then like sweep in later and finish the job off. Um, would that be an effective combat scenario, especially for something like Reforged Eden going against endgame stuff? Uh, so yeah, if you got any comments on that, I mean, I don't know myself, and that's the thing. I'm taking a lot of like stabbing guess. I'm trying to design something that I think would be effective in game. When I first started playing the game, it was the same thing. I ran into like the first POI and died and had my stuff blown up sitting outside of it, and then I would keep on like trying to craft new things to make my life easier in the game and be able to take on tougher stuff. And that's kind of what this is. I kind of wanted to build a gunship that's, well, really focused on being a gunship and not so much like it does everything kind of ship. Even the Nemesis and Asteria were largely based around that. They were the Nemesis. I mean, it had a thicker hull on it, but it still had the hangar and it still had all the other stuff in it. And it was a pretty big ship. And I kind of wanted something in a smaller package that was, well, especially with Reforged Eden, allowing more weapons and stuff. If you got the CPU for it, I could do ships like this that would be a legal build in vanilla, um, due to the artillery count, and I'd probably have a lot of rocket launchers and things too. In fact, I was even thinking, if it's got 10 launchers, how cool would it be if CPU permits it? If all the launchers actually were the rockets, would firing 10 CV rockets at a space target, do a lot of damage, combined with like 5-6 artillery. That'd be interesting. I'd like to see it. I'd like to see it getting a good fight. At least offensive wise. Defensive wise, hard to say. I'd have to build this thing really tough. But that's basically what I've been working on a little bit. I did get asked to do something with like trying to show LCDs, and I can show some things on LCDs, but I just want to, and I'll do that on the next video. But just keep in mind, I'm not a pro at LCDs. I know some things, but I certainly don't know what some other authors know and do. So but I can share my limited knowledge with you. So I do plan on doing that on the next video to kind of like specialize in LCDs, and I'm probably going to try to bring in some examples of some really stellar LCDs from other authors as well. And just so you get an idea, and so I can learn a little bit myself on LCDs, because there are things that I keep on trying to do with LCDs and I keep failing at, but I see other authors pull it off, so I need to study that more. And it largely has to do with vertical position when placing things, especially sometimes when one thing's getting placed over the top of another or on part of it or something like that. It gets I've had some issues with that. But just curious on your thoughts on all this stuff. The tank. If anybody does want this, I could probably throw this up on a Google Drive or something and put a link. You can do something with it if you like. But if not, it's just for fun. I was kind of like playing with ideas, trying to make a weird smoothie front, and then I was kind of doing some block inversion kind of things where I was like purposely not using the block that would normally fit in these spots to create spiky things. And that's basically what this was. It was kind of like a just for fun project. I do that occasionally. It's a stress reliever. Anyway, I'm kidding about that. It's not really a stress reliever. Anyway, y'all have yourself a good weekend. I will talk to you later.